How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the final section of Turnabout Big Top. This should be the final trial. I'm actually pretty far ahead on recording. Further ahead than I've been since the days of the first Phoenix Wright LP. But I wanted to see the end of this case. I want to finish it up. And then after I do that, I'll probably go back to Layton and just finish the game. And then go to Case 4 of this game, and we can do all of Case 4 uninterrupted. But it's nice being a little ahead in recording, have a little backlog to go for a while. Don't have to worry about recording new stuff. But yeah, we gotta prove the motive. We know what happened, we just have to prove the motive, which I think should be easy. Unbelievable. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. Did he really, though? He didn't know that Russell would be wearing his clothes, and he didn't know the cloak would get stuck to the bust, and he didn't know that Mo would see it. Unless he thought people would think that Max did it because the killer didn't leave footprints and he flies. I don't really think he specifically tried to pin it on Max, did he? Why would he? Why Max? I don't think that he did. Maybe he did. Well, that's one way to put it. Oh, is it Gumshoe? Oh, where you been? You're gonna ignore me after I went all the trouble to bring you some evidence? Ah, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. You know what? I don't disagree. Now, Detective, I'm sorry now. Why don't you relax a little? We got some really tasty milk. I feel like milk is just kind of milk. You got slight differences, 1%, 2% skim, whatever. You can have chocolate milk, but it's just, milk is really just milk. I don't think it's going to be very tasty. Milk is good, but I don't think any of it's really better than any other. Unless Honey Nut Cheerios have been in the milk, and now it tastes all like honey-ish. That's great. That's awesome. But now we got that thing that he showed us before. This is a secret. Look, the details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up till now has gone according to our plan. Von Karma looked like she was in a pretty big hurry, though. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were put into place. What the hell does that mean? Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Judgment comes at the very last instant. That's it, and that's it for me too, pal. I'm going home. Huh. The very last instant part. Everything he said seemed pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Oh, hi. Ah, don't scare me like that. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. Eh? For me? So the other guys at the circus actually they care? They're gonna send him some gifts? More milk! Endless supply of milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. Is that the end of that sentence? Not like a dairy farm? Is a dairy a place? Is that like where they have a lot of dairy products is called a dairy? Apparently. That sounds kind of familiar, but not really. I didn't really know it was just a place called a dairy. Like a dairy factory, a dairy farm, a dairy store. Just a dairy, apparently, is a thing. Whatever. So, anyway. We need to prove the motive. So, before we get into that, let me give you a rundown of everything that I think, because I'm pretty sure I've got it pretty accurate. Like I said a while ago, I think the pepper is what caused the lion to bite down. I think it caused him to sneeze, and smile, and bite. I think Bat died, because he was in a coma for 6 months. I think he died recently, when Acro was at the hospital, and that spurred him on to want to get revenge. And either he was trying to kill Regina, because it was her lion, and Bat was trying to impress her, and he put the note in her pocket, and he just didn't know that Russell was the one down there instead of Regina. Or he decided to kill Russell to hurt Regina, because, he lost a loved one, so he wanted her to experience losing a loved one too. Either way, I think in some way, shape, or form, Regina was his target. So, yeah, I think that's what's going on. I just have to figure out what to present to prove that. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. Even though I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, it might be hard to actually prove it to them, especially because I don't have any health. If I get one thing wrong, I lose. Which isn't a big deal, because this is the second part of the trial. You know, we had a break in the middle, so I wouldn't have to replay all that. Plus, I can save at any time. Well, I think it... I feel like it's more likely that because he really does seem to like the ringmaster and respect him, so I don't think that he would kill him to get to Regina. I think it's more likely that he was just trying to kill Regina. And just, I guess he couldn't see specifically out the window, as he said himself many times. Yeah, I'll cross-examine. So he couldn't see who was down there, he just assumed it would be Regina, but it was actually Russell. That's probably what happened. You're so tactless. And that's why the note said, to the murderer, because I think Bat did die. Until now, he probably had hope that he might wake up from the coma, but his death probably pushed him over the edge. If I'm right about all that, then this should be fairly smooth. The last part, it was interesting, because there was a lot of surprises. Some good, some bad. This part is just about proving what I already know. At least I think I do. You have a... Yes, he does. How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. Oh, man. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Oh. He's crying. There's no crying in court. There's no crying in baseball. Let's get going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. Now he's got the judge on his side with his story. He took you guys in. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? No. I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes it so difficult. So then how long have you been a performer? When he was 9. Press. You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. Alright, man. Just calm down, dude. It's not important. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. Is it really called a group if it's only 2 people? Oh my god. The flying dinglingberries. That's a dingleberry joke. Don't even tell me it's not. Oh my god. It's not a household name. It can't be, and it better not be. I've even heard of them in Germany. Really? Liar. Yeah, come on. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. Oh, you are truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Plot twist, the judge is Acro's father. Abandoned him as a baby. An 8-year-old baby. So, yeah, if you wanted to repay him, then why did you kill him? Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I thought she was going to say a foolish thing. I prepared myself for it, and she didn't say it. Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of the witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Oh. No matter how you look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular. There's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. So was I not supposed to present? Was I supposed to say no? I don't lose health for that, right? Because we seem to have gotten nowhere. What do I do now? Like, he said his testimony, I questioned it all, and we got nothing. What am I supposed to do? Dude, what? It's not over. It can't be. I believe that this is pretty much unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Please, anything to keep the trial going. What was Acro's motive for killing the Ringmaster? How about it? Can you explain that to me? Alright, I need to talk for a little bit. I'm gonna have to edit a bunch of shit out, because I just got 2 game overs. I'm gonna edit all that shit out. I'm gonna be upfront and tell you about it. I'm not gonna fucking hide it. I got 2 game overs in a row. I'm gonna have to edit them out, because it's long enough already. And getting back here was so annoying, because even though it was short, when I had to replay something in the first game because I accidentally deleted footage and I had to get back to where I was, I could just mash through the dialogue, mashing A. It didn't really go that fast this time, even though it was such a short segment to get through. It was kind of annoying. But anyway, so, I said I could explain it. I said I could explain his motive. I went to the profile and I presented Bat. Because right now my health is so low, if I get one thing wrong, I lose. So that's all it was. I presented Bat and that was wrong, so I got a game over. So I'm like, okay, it must not have been Bat. The answer must have been Regina. So I got back to where I was. I presented Regina. I got another fucking game over, because that was wrong too. And I'm like, motherfucker, this case sucks a dick. Because my thoughts were, I'm like, okay, it's either Bat or Regina, because Bat is his motive for not for killing the Ringmaster. For probably trying to kill Regina, if I'm correct about that. So should I present Bat or Regina? Because Bat is the motive, but Regina was the one that he was meaning to target. So I'm figuring either I'll say Bat, and they'll say, what does the Ringmaster have to do with Bat? And I'll say he wasn't going for the Ringmaster, he was going for Regina. Or I'll present Regina, and they'll say, what does she have to do with it? And I'll say that she's the real target, and then we'll talk about Bat. I figured it might work either way, but apparently it works no way. And those are definitely the only 2 options. It's either Regina or Bat. And both of those were wrong. Both of them game overed me. This case sucks, and I hate it. And I guess I have to say I can't provide one. Because there's nothing fucking else. But if I keep saying, no, I don't want to cross-examine, no, I can't provide one, then I'm not getting anywhere. But it's not Bat, and it's not Regina, so what would it fucking be? And I don't want to lock myself into presenting something else. Because then I have to present, I think. I don't think I can back out of it. And then I might get another game over and have to go through it all again. But if I say I can't provide one, I might get another game over because I'm just doing nothing. And letting me start this with only that much health, like they couldn't refill it a little bit? I guess I have to say I can't fucking provide one. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor? The reason that Acro killed the Ringmaster is something that can't be proven. Alright, so, see, how the fuck was I supposed to know that choosing I can't provide one would just get Phoenix to talk? That's what happened in the other trial before. I'm thinking about what I can present as a player of the game, not what Phoenix is gonna say. I didn't think just choosing nah, can't do it would actually get him to then talk about the right track. I thought I would have to present a thing. Bat or Regina, so I did both, and both were wrong. Saying no, I can't do it, is what actually gets me to do it. That's fucking bullshit, and yeah, I'm actually a little bit pissed off, because my time has been wasted, and I think this case is just stupid. So yeah, if you like this case, whatever. I don't care. But ugh. My god. So that was right, to say that I can't prove it. Which makes sense. His motive for killing the Ringmaster, he doesn't have one, because he wanted to kill Regina. But first of all, the player could easily not know that. I figured it out, but it was not. It hasn't been proven yet. The player could easily have not figured it out yet. And even though I figured it out, you know, again, I figured me presenting would then lead us to that discussion. I didn't know saying nah would lead us to the discussion. Acro. You didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. So here we go. Now we're on the right track. We're past the bullshit, and I'm on to the... I got it. It's fine. 2 fucking game overs, right back to back, because I had a sliver of health, and the game was foolish. That's the first time I've gotten game overs in the Phoenix Wright games. That just makes me dislike this case even more, because I don't really feel that they're my fault. It would have been better if I hadn't gotten my health so low to begin with, but okay, now, directly asking me, Who was he trying to kill? The answer is Regina. For the love of God, please. This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter? Mm-hmm. You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough, Mr. Wright. Allow me to... Oh. The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Jesus. Huh? And that goes for you too. Oh, and that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. He's still not breaking down at all. Yes, I don't think he's going to, honestly. I feel like no matter what happens, I'll just be content. Evidence that proves he was out to... Ugh. Fuck, man. I can't present the wrong thing. Can I save? I cannot save mid-presenting. I cannot pause. Shit. Okay, the evidence that he was gonna kill her. The pepper's gotta come up sometime, but not yet. I should either choose the lion or bat. Probably bat. Maybe either one would work. Or, actually, the note. I forgot about the note. Looking through the rest of this, I'm like, oh yeah, shit. That does specifically say, you know, come out here at 10 o'clock. And he did put it in Regina's pocket. Because saying bat or the lion, we haven't established that yet. It doesn't prove that he was out to kill her. But he put that in her pocket. So, please? That's another one that's kind of up in the air. I could easily see you presenting Bat or Leon or whatever, and if you only have a sliver of health, you get another fucking game over. It was very close to getting another one right there. Like, there's too many things that could be the right answer, and you need health to be able to experiment with it a little bit, you know? But they don't restore your health. Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled to the murderer. Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called... Nah. No. There's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order, Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, I mean the ringmaster, read the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. I don't know why he... Like, did he know what it was about? Because why would he go? He must have known, right? Or maybe he didn't? Because if he didn't know what it was about, why would he go? And why would he write to the murderer in the first place? Wouldn't he want to make sure that Regina knew that he really meant for it to be for her? Wouldn't he just say to Regina, I mean... You know, hey Regina, can you meet me out here? Why gotta make it all suspicious? You know? If you're telling a murderer, I know what you did, meet me here, the murderer's probably gonna be like, no, I think I'll leave the country. Why wouldn't you just say, hey Regina, can you meet me out here tonight? I wanna have a chat with with my buddy. Man, fuck this shit. Sorry, I don't like it. So yeah, that's it. He didn't know who was down there. Meant to go Regina. I guess the ringmaster was just curious. The bust fly. Hey Nick, isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? Oh yeah, she is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina. Foolishly foolish fool, with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, if you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Was the pepper his conclusive evidence of what took place? I fail to see how it is. And it's not murder. But she's not. Acro's a dummy. Trilo ain't the dummy here, it's Acro. The ringmaster knew what the note meant. He did? He did, because the note is nonsense. The note is absolute nonsense. I don't know how he knew what it meant. So he did go there because he knew what it meant, somehow, and knew that it was meant for his daughter, so that's why he went. Fucking weird, man. I think that's pretty strange. Pretty strange that that the note was worded that way in the first place. Pretty strange about the cloak. Pretty strange that Mo exists. He's a piece of shit. Pretty shitty motive from what I can gather here. You know. It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well, then if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know, I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. Wait, are we talking about my conclusive evidence, or the conclusive evidence that Acro said he had? Or is that one and the same? Is it the fucking pepper?